Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe, and if you are already subscribed, thank you for always coming back. It means so much to me. Should I do the other side of my face? Like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere, it's fine. Today we're going to talk about our makeup creasing under our eyes. I know it's very common, like you put on your makeup and you're looking like amazing and you go out and in 3-4 hours you're like, why do I look like an 80-year-old? So that's the topic of today's video. And if you haven't seen my previous video, please go check it out. It's about how to make your makeup stay on like all day without creasing, sweat proof, everything proof, you know. So I'll link it up here. Please go watch it. Most of us have dark circles. Most of us have fine lines under our eyes. We're not getting any younger, so obviously we will have them. We can try and extend the life of our makeup under our eyes. That's all we can do. Also, prep is important, like how you take care of your skin under your eyes is very important. Many of you probably know this, but some GQ for GK or something. The skin under your eyes is extremely thin. It's much more delicate than the rest of your face, so that's why it can't like retain any moisture, so it has higher chances of getting dried out. We need to take extra steps to make sure that they are moisturized and, you know, like nourished. So there are two things that I do. I use almond oil at night. I'll take maybe 1 or 2 drops and put it under my eyes and even on my eyelids and just go to sleep. And in the morning I'll wash it away. And number 2, I use an eye cream every day. Almond oil I know really works. I mean, not like instantly, okay? It's not gonna like change the look of your skin in one day. It's a long-term commitment. So if you start doing that, I'm pretty sure you will see a difference. It's not going to like make your under eyes really bright or anything. I'm not claiming that's gonna happen, but it's really gonna make a difference in texture. It will help with your fine lines and stuff. Because if you put more and more makeup on like a dried out under eye, the chances of it creasing are a lot more. Also, something that I would suggest is if you're extremely prone to your makeup creasing under your eyes, use the eye cream maybe like 20 minutes before you start off with your makeup. You don't want it to be like moist. When you start off, you want it to be like just moisturized and like good to touch, not like soaking wet. Okay, yeah, that's enough of talking. We'll start off with the makeup. So I have already moisturized my skin and put on my eye cream. I'll put all the details in the description box below. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be doing one side of my face and I'm going to leave the other side bare so that you can see the difference. First things first, primer. A lot of people avoid their under eye area when they put on the primer, but if you have fine lines, please put them under your eyes as well. And then you can just put it on the rest of your face where you would normally put on your primer. Especially under the eyes, what it's going to do is it's going to go and settle into those fine lines so that makeup and like your concealer will not go and settle in there. So the next thing I do is color correct. It is optional, but I would highly suggest it if you have dark circles. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the color corrector and pat it into the inner corners of my eyes, because that's where I have that darkness and not like the rest of my eye area. So I'm just going to concentrate it over there. I'm just patting it in. I'm just placing it there rather than like trying to blend it all out. I'm just placing it there. So I would usually also color correct around my mouth, so I'm just gonna do that. So you can actually see what a difference color correcting makes. This side of my face looks a lot more put together and all in like one shade, which is exactly what we're trying to do, like bring it all to our skin tone. So that is achieved. Now next, if you're doing your whole face, you would put on your foundation. So I'm just gonna do that as well. Something else that you want to keep in mind is that when you're blending out your foundation, avoid the eye region. Because the more the products there are under your eyes, the more the chances are of them creasing. So you want to keep it as, you know, light as possible. Just want to blend out the area around your eye so that it just blends into your under eye region. So the next thing you want to do, just like in our previous video about the foundation, is that you want to set your under eye lightly with some loose powder. And when I say lightly, I really mean it, like just enough. So if you were to put the concealer directly on your color corrector, there are chances that you might move the color corrector around. So this is just going to make sure that it's all set. So while doing your under eyes, you either want to look straight or down so that you're flattening out those lines. If you were to incorporate this method into our previous video, you would do the color correcting right before the setting spray. Now that we have used the powder to set our color corrector, we're gonna take our concealer. And while choosing your concealer, I just wanna say one thing. Don't go too light at this point. If you wanna brighten your under eye, I know some people like that really bright under eye look. If you wanna do that, first use a color that is closer to your skin tone and then use a lighter color to brighten that area. Especially if you're not planning to color correct. If you put on a very light concealer on your dark circles, it's gonna look very ashy. So the secret of having your under eye not crease is to have as less product as possible over there. But we already have the eye cream, the primer, the color corrector, the powder. So with the concealer, you want to go really light. I'm guilty of doing the whole triangle thing. I like doing it sometimes. But ideally what you want to do is concentrate the concealer in the inner corner. That's where you have the dark circles. So I'm just going to concentrate it over there. Because essentially you're using the concealer for the dark circles and not the fine lines. And I'm going to avoid the region where I have fine lines. And then do you see that dip where my eye has that natural dip? I'm going to put the concealer even over there. Also, I want to say one thing. I feel like initially people were using this dry and now people are using this soaking wet. You don't want a soaking wet beauty blender. You want to run it under the tap and then squeeze out all the water. You don't want this to be excessively watery. Have you had a situation when you're blending out your concealer or your foundation and then suddenly there's a blob where there's no foundation, it's gone? That's because your beauty blender is too wet. You don't want it soaking wet. Squeeze out as much as possible and then use it. Just needs to be damp, not like dripping wet. So with that little rant, I gave the concealer a little bit of time to just set. You don't want to wait too long, but then just, a couple of seconds. Now I'm gonna start blending it in. Again over here, looking down or up is very important. If you can make this face, I always do this. I keep my face like this. So as you can see, my dark circles are almost gone, but I still have that little bit of a dip over here. If you don't mind it, then you're done. But I would like a little bit more coverage in that region. So I'm just gonna dot a little bit on there. And I'm just keeping it in that region and I'm not taking it upwards towards my fine lines. Now you want to work relatively fast. Take some setting spray and just spray some on the back of your hand. Take it in your fingers and just press it under your eyes. This makes a huge difference. It's much better than just spraying it all over your face. This really makes your under eye crease proof for such a long time. Now just give it a couple of seconds to dry down and then we're going to powder it down one last time. Setting spray has dried down. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that loose powder on my beauty blender and just pack it in. Again, it's important to look down or straight or make the face. I'm just gonna set the rest of my face as well now. That's it, you guys. That's how I try and make my under eyes crease proof for as long as possible. I'm not claiming that this is gonna make your concealer stay on without creasing for 24 hours, but it definitely will make it stay longer. Also, if you guys have any tips and tricks that you follow to make your under eye crease less, then please let me know in the comments so we can share with everyone. And please like this video if you think this is going to help you, and please subscribe to my channel if you like my content. Thank you guys. Bye guys.